So how are we going, team? Can we hear us now? Better. Can you hear us now, can you? I need some thumbs up or something to let me know that we're on track. We're on track. Thank you very much, King Katyusha. Sound is good. Well done, Daz, not Kaz. Fantastic to have you here, mate. I hope the water buffalo are doing well. And sorry to anyone that's never been on this channel before and the very first thing they've seen is Glitch Town, because that's not what this channel's about. This is about giving you freedom of speech in the comments section so that we can have a good time. Guys and gals, so much is about to happen. I hope you like the photo that's in the background. We'll get Lauren on in 2 seconds. I'm just getting a couple more minutes charge so that we're not wasting her time on the phone, bat phone. But it's time for new things, a wind of change. This photo was taken a couple of days ago at the Grand Pacific Drive. And this is a boat that was all alone out in the ocean, getting ready to come to port, etc. in Sydney Harbour. For those that aren't from Australia, let us know. And I just thought, this is me bobbing around the sea at the moment, getting ready for bigger things. 50 years of my life was all military. From the moment I was born on Anzac Day, 25th of April, 1971, right up until 2015 when I was discharged from the army myself, and then carrying on with this YouTube channel, In the Trenches with Kaz, to assist those in the absence of information, common sense, and clarity and candidness that was not coming from recruiting, and now they're paying for that by, what would we call it? An inability to have retention within the army. Like a sailor, retention. Peter Mayfield, Pacadurries, how you going? Horsey, good to have you here. We've got Pat there. How do you say Pat in New Zealand? Pet. I've got one, a puppy, a dog. Destined for what? Finish the sentence, sir. Stevie Webb, wait for take two. The Wasp is here. We'll call this a tribute to Navy in the background. PK, my favourite Chewy. We've got 4x4 driver. Good to have you here, mate. And you've got a mullet man above you. Watch out for the mullet. He'll take your missus on a bloody rodeo. Gav, how you going? Leighton Hutchinson. Sounds like a guitarist right there. One Forest One. G'day, everyone. King Katyusha. Don't worry, it's only lagged once. Good evening, all. Hey, Kaz. Leo, stuntman for life. Always good to have you here. It's good to have you all. We've got Daz, who has a farm that he's kicked off in South Australia. Be careful to go and visit him in case the single mums get hold of you. We've got Zane Richardson that has got COVID at the moment. So we've got a video together that comes out tomorrow at the same time that I hit the road, bitumen, and take my daughter up for school holidays up to the beach to start getting some footage, etc. Where is the van? Video, Kaz, well, that's still to come out. Okay, the reason is the water is the colour, of a navy toilet at the moment, which doesn't make it very photogenic, despite the fact that it's beautiful here. Also, I need to be a cracker. I really need to be a good video, because this is going to be part of, well, we better get into the questions first. And some good news too, other than the fact that there's a video coming out tomorrow, which you're going to like. It's got some funny bits in it too. I dare you to watch it and laugh, or try not to laugh. We had MSC, who got accepted today and has got a position number in the OSB Officer Selection Board. So, fantastic to her. She's got a hard life ahead. The burden of command, but it's a good one. We've also got one of our fellas getting ready to go on his commando course, not commando, SAS selection course next month, and we wish him all the best as well. Mullet Man, still on the grind team, been 6 months, just finished my tutoring and schooling to finish year 10 at the age of 26 with a business while doing it. Absolutely pumped for the next step, and we hope you get there. We really do. We've got the Wasp there. A little bit jealous. How often do you get out in the ocean, mate, or are you there now? Okay, Guardian27, the Hungarian hustler, Hungarian salami, one of my favourites. And now one of the best things on my to-do list for cooking is paprika prawns. Fantastic. I am Deadpool, says Robin. Good to have you here, mate. For those that don't know, Robin has actually got himself an upmarket Raptor with above the roof tents, all that sort of stuff, and he's about to hit the road for potentially the rest of his life as of June. So this is something that's in the wind, in the water. I think COVID has given everyone that new expectation on life with simplicity and minimalist, similar to this photo in the background that I took, which is all about living life. And life is around people. Lauren and I had a very, I'll call her, had a very deep conversation a while ago, and it was just a random conversation that turned out to be very spiritually moving, that has potentially changed both our lives. Okay, and we'll talk about that now, actually.
Hello.
Hey, Miss Lauren. We've got everyone here. The sound is good now. Yep. I could see you there in chat. I was just saying before we jump into the questions that I've got that are going to pop up on the screen in 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember a while ago we were just having one of our normal conversations, and we started to talk about, people's perception of what success is the 5-bedroom house, despite the fact I'll never go into 4 of those bedrooms, and that sign of material wealth that means nothing to us.
Yep.
But then it's like when you look back, what means more to you, the people and what people think of you? How did we say it?
I think it was, I think we said it like, what do you really want? And, instead of what you're being told that you want, because society tells you have to keep up with the Kardashians
or the Smiths.
Yeah, exactly.
Will Smith, Jada, nice haircut.
Exactly. Yeah, and you maybe don't even want to do that.
Mm.
Is it going to make you happy? Is it really what will fulfill you?
That's where it is. Is the cost of chasing the dream of the 5-bedroom house, is the cost actually happiness?
It can be, yeah, exactly. And then what's the point of chasing your tail?
Well, you know what? No one has ever wanted to be a dentist. Ever. If you go to be a dentist, that is because you've sold your soul to look in the mouths of filthy people, because you know that there is a financial benefit to a job that no one else wants to really do. And there's a bunch of jobs like that. Lawyer, accountant, good with numbers, but imagine if we had a window in this office.
Exactly. Good practical jobs, a lot of money, but what is the cost, especially with the lawyer?
Yep.
Well, then you've got to sell your soul. So.
Well, we listened to, hey, Rambo is enlisting tomorrow. Can we get some thumbs up for Rambo? All he wants is his country to love him like he loves it. Yeah. We'll see how Rambo you are joining on the edge of winter. Well done, sir.
Indeed.
Heidi, how you going, love? I know a couple of Heidis. I'm not sure which one this is. Is this a Heidi I know? Or is this a new Heidi? 4x4 driver says good luck to Rambo. And we all say good luck because there's an element of luck.
Yeah, indeed.
But your step is similar to what my step was 30 years ago. I joined the army. And then I took in a new life. I put my school friends behind me. And then I went into a life where I was tested, failed areas, excelled in some. But what happened was I went into the fog of war and I said, well, I'm going to make a run of this. I rolled the dice. I crossed the Rubicon, Julius Caesar, and I decided I either come back on my shield or I'm going to really have a great time here. And you know what? It was a rough road, but I had a great time.
Yep.
But we've closed the door, Lauren, and it's time to do it again.
Exactly. And there's no going back. You can't go backwards.
You can if you're a sailor.
Yeah.
They prefer going in reverse.
In life, you have to take those. You have to step off some cliffs sometimes, and go places where you can't go back from. They are pivotal moments in your life, pivotal decisions, and you'll never be the same again afterwards.
Never be the same.
Yep.
And that leads us to now, where I believe I'm in an extremely rare situation. Because of what happened with the military. Well, my back being, the same as a Chinaman's. Don't stand on a crack and break your mama's back. The fact that I've got a lower bowel disease, mixed with some other things. And the army actually told me I didn't quit. And they said, okay, you've done 24 years, the same amount of time as a Roman auxiliary. Why don't you go and enjoy your life now, mate? Hang your skippy badge up. Don't look backwards. Okay, revel in what we've taught you. Okay, learn from the lessons of the things you've made a mess of. And now go and have a good life with your daughter, which I'm about to tomorrow when I take her up to hang around the beach. But I can't take her in the water because she's just got her hair weaved at the Sydney show. I believe that was a plan.
Yeah.
But we saw also Carl. Carl just joined the Army Reserve because he's got a fantastic business that looks after his family, puts food on the table. But he chose to join Army Reserve. So that's now brought him into the duty of his country. It has now made him prove himself. Just went to Kapuka, got back successfully, and it's changed his life. Everything
Carl's
for the
got
better.
Everything. Carl God gave Carl too much of everything. He's so good looking, he's tall, he's got a great business, he's a fantastic guy. Like, he's so sweet.
I hope you can't hear us at the moment.
No. I've said it all to him anyway. He is though, right?
Oh, how's this one? James Mitchos. Good to have you here, mate. That's right. I'm a lawyer and sick of doing it and pleased pleased everyone else. Now 50, and I'm joining reserves because it's what I wanted to do since I was 5. It's in the blood, man. It's in the blood. Yeah. You're a lawyer, so we hear so many people, whether they be in the mines, whether they be pilots, whatever, that go, look, I want something that is not tangible. I want qualifications that are as a human qualification, not a tertiary education.
Exactly. And that's right. And this is the perfect time to do it. When you're because, like you said, you and I, 50.
Yep.
I'm nearly there,
Hold up the bat, but don't jump.
Exactly. Now's the time to do what you always wanted to do.
Yep. And that's what we're doing. That is what we're doing. Let's take another couple of questions, and then we'll actually start to deliver what this means. Okay, can we hit number Heidi? Sorry, I thought Heidi. Yeah. I thought you were a lass, mate. Sorry.
No, it must be his daughter. His name's Brenton, I think.
Okay.
Okay. So, Kaz, I'm a 47-year-old mate. You need your own YouTube. Male former Choco.
Yep.
Got my assessment day Thursday. 1 armoured, 2 MP, 3 infantry. There obviously is choices.
Yep.
Former national swimmer, but fitness RS at the moment. I don't know that means. Right. It is my dream. Is it too late? Should I stick to unicorns?
No, I wouldn't say it is too late for Army Reserve. It would be too late for Army Reserve for regular Army.
Choco. He's a former Choco, and I think he's going regular.
Okay, I believe you have left to run too late, mate. I do, because they're going to look at you and go, "We don't have the years in you to make it worth our while."
Exactly. You need to be an asset for them as well. It's not so much whether you want the Army; it's whether they need you or could you make good use of you.
Yeah.
For a long enough time.
Put yourself on the other side of the table and say, would you hire you? Because I don't know you, mate.
For that job.
You might have a whole bunch of skills that are great, but at the end of the day, there's mold on the side of the bread, and we've got to face that. Okay? You know what you're getting into. You've been Army Reserve before. You know what they want. Okay? Your choices, you're going for things that are very combat orientated. And that might not be what you go back into again unless you go for Army Reserve. Okay, if you go in there and go for something around the intelligence corps and something like that, where your IQ as an older guy and wisdom might come into it, small team maturity and responsibility, they might say, yes, no worries, straight away. But just be honest with yourself, mate. Can you read paras in Philippines?
Sure.
Please.
I left the British Army after 18 years. And
good on you, mate.
Straight to the Philippines.
2 seconds. After 18 years, 2 more years, you would have had your pension. Okay.
Yep. built my 5-bedroom house, and I basically live in my clubhouse as the family are too bloody noisy, but I love it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, look, we're not saying don't get a 5-bedroom house, especially if you've got kids. You need room
Yeah,
for
yeah.
them. What we're saying is that don't get caught up in wanting to have a McMansion just because that's what you think the status of success is. Success is about your own personal happiness and meeting your own goals.
Or the mansion in place of happiness.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right.
Yep. But well done, mate, and thank you for your service. And
Yeah,
the Philippines, love the food. Okay, the ladies there are crazy, the Filipinas. You know, I keep away from them. Americans told me keep the hell away from them.
Yeah, and I believe the weather is a bit nicer than Britain. So, you know, it's all good then.
Mate,
okay.
Hopefully we hear more about you.
Yeah,
Paris.
Indeed.
Especially if you are actually one of the Paris too. Fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. Dino Frog. Hey, Kaz, I heard the RMC intakes for 2023 have begun about a month ago, according to the Defence Jobs Instagram.
Okay.
Do you know when they would close?
No idea, mate. But they're taking cohorts and classes all the time. And remember, guys and gals, with the situations happening with the big red corn chip and the expansion of the Australian Army, you know, the time for politics is going to be out the way soon. The time for quotas is going to be out the way soon. Now we need the A team. We need that to be raised, and we need to meet the expectations of those that put their hand up, oath of affirmation, understanding the Queen while she lasts is your boss, soon to be the king. Okay?
Yep.
And from there, you know, they're going to take you. You want to get in, they're going to take you. They might even drop the stands a little bit and hoover you up and take you in there. So make sure you're ready to go.
Yep, exactly. Clayton Robinson says he enlists armoured in June. That's exciting. That's chilly, isn't it? That's
You're going to be a cold son of a bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Seven Nex has said, hey, Kaz, I've got a quick question.
Yeah.
Do you get paid during gap year or only upon completion?
No, you get paid, mate.
Yeah, for sure.
I would consider gap year, I would consider that as close as you can get to national service. Because what happens is you go and do your 1 year full qualifications, doing the regular Army length course, Kapuka, Singleton, or engineers, etc. But then what happens is you automatically off-ramp down into Army Reserve unless you get offered a contract to stay in for 4 years, which I totally recommend you to do. You know, because that way you've done all the hard work. If you only go there for a year and then you're out of there, it's a good way to become a fully qualified Army Reservist, you know, paid at the top tier, etc. I do recommend that. Then go back into whether you be an electrician, plumber, or builder, lawyer, etc. You do that. But if it's because you just don't want to commit to 4 years, commit to the 4 years, because otherwise you're going to get out before you actually know what it's like to be in the military.
Yep, exactly. Okay, we got Green Kid here.
Alien.
Says, hey, Kaz, hope all's going well. I was wondering, what's your thoughts on SIG radio operator and the opportunity that they could provide, such as attached to infantry, CAV, and I believe SF as well?
They'll never be attached to infantry, mate. We've got our own signals guys, right? Our own signal platoon. There is black hats that go over and assist with special forces who aren't the flavour of the month at the moment, sadly, because of whistleblowers yet again. Mate, it's a great corps. You know, they're fantastic. You know, a small group environment. Make sure you take your maturity. Understand a lot of the mateship is not there like you'd get in a combat corps, engineers, etc. But, it's one you can do for 30 or 40 years easy.
Yep, indeed.
Let me jump on and throw a question on here.
Yeah, do that.
This is some of the questions that are to do with this actual stream.
Okay?
Yeah, with
it's exciting.
The slug turning into the butterfly, so to speak, but without the rainbow flag, if you know what I mean. Bam. What's next? I really don't know either. I honestly don't. Here we are, again, into the fog of war at nearly 51 years old. Area 51. Alien Kid. Yep. Good to have you with me. What if I was to give this option to Para in the Philippines? Okay, he's chosen his second life. He's in the Philippines, eating street food. Be careful of the water. You know, living his best life in his 5-bedroom house, and probably has a maid doing the cleaning up, which I need right now. Okay.
Yeah, fantastic. And he's worked hard to get that.
Absolutely has. 2 years off the pension. Geez, you were close.
I believe he said he got injured.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have thought only Navy would get a torn cornhole. But that basically happened to me. You know, I didn't expect that as infantry. That wasn't part of the program. Carl P, here he is, back from training. You know, got his. I hope Gramps' funeral, getting ready for that, is all good. He was from the 48th Royal Marine Commandos, and they landed on Sword Beach there, Paris, and he lost his life a couple of days ago. So again, call out to him and the service he gave. You know, but we start dying the day we're born, and he lived as full as a life you'd imagine someone could ever have.
Okay, what's next?
Well,
no one knows, do they?
Well, I've got the world is a landscape. I'm basically debt free. I'm going into finances now, learning all about that, how to make my money work for me while I'm on the road. You know.
Yep.
It's about cooking. I love cooking my heartburn paprika prawns. It's about conversations. It's the world is my landscape. My daughter is about to turn 11 in another 6 months, which means there's going to be less dad required in her life.
Yeah, it's getting there. It goes quick.
Yeah, so I've got to find my skates really quickly. Otherwise, we could be in the shit.
Yep, indeed.
What's Paris saying there?
What I love about the Philippines
Oh,
is that,
dude.
What?
I really get jealous. I am stranded
here.
here, bro. I come down here to be near my daughter. What I love about the Philippines, I could imagine this guy's life is perfect. Is that 8 of my oppos followed me? That's 8 of his bros.
Right.
So we are
our unit, their own unit there.
Here at Badagas, Filipinas.
Yep.
Females are
as
crazy.
crazy as a box of frogs.
Hey, dude, is there any chance, Paris, is there any chance that you and I can get in contact with each other? Because I'm more than willing to travel over there and leech off your maid, and I won't stay with you, but I'd come over and I'd meet you guys and take it easy and put a little bit of Australian blend. You know, the world is about meeting new people, and you're going to meet new people, and this is my microphone, the GoPro 10. I've got professional cameras, but at the end of the day, there is nothing more versatile than the camera that's in your pocket. What's that in your pocket? Are you happy to see me? No, it's a GoPro 10. But nothing hits slow-mo at 240p like the GoPro does underwater versatility. You can take it everywhere, give it a yellow golden shower, no dramas.
Good grief.
She said. My name is Dean Caswell anyway, to Paris in the Philippines. You can find me on Messenger, Dean Caswell. You might have seen it before in some of the Victoria's Secret models, locker rooms and toilet doors. I tend to put it there. Never had a call.
That's funny.
Guys and girls, you were going to get older quicker than you realise. My ex-partner, a fantastic lady. I give her mucho respect. She's the mother of my child. But she said to me the other day as she was dropping her daughter off that she just found herself wishing her life away for the weekend. What do we mean by that is all of a sudden you start wishing it was Friday or Saturday. Then you start to get rid of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Before you know it, you're older. Opportunities are slipping by. And your life, time is the most valuable thing, but you don't realise it until you get older. Should I have a separate channel? I think I'm going to have to. There's going to be some sort of separation.
I think so.
I think it's obvious. What do you reckon, guys? Should I have a separate channel? Because that's going to lead on to what would you call it? What would it be about? It won't be streaming. This channel will still exist, but in a limited environment. And what I mean is it may be streams only and doing also the fun, political, the reaction videos and all that sort of stuff, what you're used to. But the other channel needs to be completely different because the clientele will be completely different. Right. So should I have a separate channel? Yes, I think I should. I think that YouTube might allow me under a different email to be able to exist rather than block me the way I feel like I have been blocked through this one for years now. You know, for those that don't know, 3 years ago I had 16,000 subscribers. 3 years later, and here I am on 12,500, and feeling like the wheels are absolutely bogged in the mud. We don't do things for nothing. We do this because we want to make the difference to other people's lives. And if we don't feel like the eyes are getting to see us because of whatever, whether it be algorithms, whether it be a lack of consistency, whether it be the message is just not interesting, but I think we've had a fair crack at it. You know, I think we have. And yeah, so let's go for a second channel. And the next question would be, what happens to In the Trenches with Kaz channel? Well, it has to continue to exist because there's still people that are being let down by the system that can't educate them, coach them, etc.
Yeah, and there's a wealth of knowledge in the back catalogue too.
There is. We just had something that really chapped my ass, and that was someone just had a coach. You know, they had a military coach from the ADF to help them get into the military. They wanted to go to infantry, and the person that they got from ADF was a corporal from Air Force, female. And you couldn't have picked someone who would know less about the role that this gentleman wants to go to, who's actually giving him coaching about what his life is about and what is expected, etc. You know, that's a disservice. How hard is it to say, we've got one for you, Rob, and then when someone that wants to go to Air Force comes over, you know, oh, okay, we've got one for you, Cherie, whatever it is. You know, I just couldn't believe it. Gus! Good evening, everyone. Thanks for the discussion yesterday. It's all right, mate. I was on the phone for nearly 7 hours on the bat phone yesterday. Thanks for the community. That is the Legion. And In the Trenches with Kaz, Gun Pit. Guys and gals, if you need to be on here, get on the bat phone so that you and I can have one-on-one conversations, whether it be in the new channel coming up or this channel here now. And that way we can tackle life's problems without it interfering or being in your circle of influence around the life that you have right now. Because sometimes things said on your inner circle can actually affect your life. You're better off testing the water with an old bastard like myself. James Mitchell, the problem with the airsoft is, yeah, I'm not a fan of airsoft at all. It's a game, you know. Simon Powell, I don't support that. I'm not sure what that is.
No, nor am I.
Yeah, we honestly we'd all dead by the age of we honestly thought we'd all be dead by the age of 30. We said that too, mate, a couple of days ago, that if you said to people, what would be the fair age that people get put down and go, you've suffered enough, you've had a good life, it's time to go, so that the next people could step up, the amount of people would probably say 40. And I'm telling you now, 40 to 50 is a fantastic time to be alive. It's so
really good decade. It's a really good decade. It's like the best decade of my life so far.
Well, you stop making mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah, you should at least. You should have at least learnt by your mistakes.
Heidi. I'm sorry I keep calling you that. It's Brenton, is it? Guys, so. I'm hell-bent on joining the ADF 2 days out of my assessment day. Should I change my preferences? No. Take your preferences in there and go in there and say, I understand. I came to you. If I put myself on that side, I'd probably be offering me a different career path, understanding that you're not allowed to say certain things because of age bias, but realistically and using a mature mind, you're 47, you'd know this yourself, you've left it too late. You know, it's time that you looked at what can you give as a gift to Army. Where would you be actually in a position where you could give capability, you know, and then from there, that's a good way to tackle it.
Indeed.
What's he saying?
Okay, he's talking to someone else.
Okay.
Jordan Turner Brunner, whatever they will allow me to do. Mantra is, I want to hold the spear, but I'll hold the shield. And if no shield, I don't know what.
Do you want me to call the person that holds the shield? A chef. You're holding the wok.
Yeah, exactly. Um, Leighton has said, where can I learn what a normal day in the life of a job in the army is like?
Just look at
Everywhere I look, it says things like, you make friends. Well, that is actually true. It's an amazing job kind of stuff, never what it's actually like.
Leighton. The best thing you can do, mate, is get onto the bat phone because we've covered that on almost every single stream, mate. You know,
Yeah, it's true. We do talk about it a lot.
I can run you right through it from start to end, you know. But tonight we can't just make it the same as every other stream, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. What are we? Next one. What happens to the Trencher channel? Okay, so it'll still be there. Okay, will it be stripped back? I don't know. It's like having two cars. The new car, you're always going to drive more than the old one, you know, because we have got a hell of a back catalogue there for people that are searching if they're willing to search. Bam.
Yep.
What are your priorities and what are mine? That's all going to be age dependent. Okay, we're seeing at the moment that where is he? That Brenton wants to join the military. Okay.
Yes.
I'm not sure what came around with that made you decide that's it. I want to get back into the green, but that's your priority. You know, we've got Paris at the moment. Looks like it's him and his buddies catching up, living the life. Telling exactly the same story every day, like I do with my Anzac Day reunion crew. But mine's about to start living again, where now my military friends are in a circle, but now I want to go to caravan parks, not necessarily be off the grid, because I want to see like-minded people, other men, other women, other swingers that want to say, hey, Kaz, and go and have a wine or a beer, offer a beer, drive past a work site and go over there and offer some blokes a can of Coke that are on the side of the road. You know, give people $5 for 2 questions answered, you know, so they can say they've been paid for their time. Bring images of beautiful women and beautiful men to you guys, especially the sailors.
Yeah.
Do some funny antic shit.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be good, I think. I think it's going to be great. And I think a new channel is the way to go.
Hey, Paris is going to be... I hope you've written yourself down as Paris in Philippines, because now I'll know who I'm talking to. If it's Robert wants to be your friend, I'll be like, who's Robert? Hey, Bob. I'll go look at the past streams and check it out. I must have tuned into the wrong ones. No, mate, it's fine. They go for a long time, man. You know,
they do. It's a long time. We talk for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, the best way is to get on the Patreon, get on the bat phone, and then any questions you've got, Kaz can answer.
Daniel O'Connell's telling me to take a detour around Adelaide. Yeah, but the thing is, man, you've got to have a job for the single mums of Adelaide to come after you. So as long as I go there and say I'm unemployed or retired, it'd probably be even more danger.
I've heard that's not even true.
What's that?
That you need a job.
Yeah. Fake news.
Car. Yeah. Okay, Joshua says, hey, Kaz, passed my fitness test for the Navy today.
Ooh.
What should I expect?
Good luck on your one push-up.
What should I expect as a sailor through the gap year? I leave on the 25th of May.
You're going to get a good rogering, you know.
Come on.
Mate, as a gap year,
Good.
If I was you, I'd definitely recommend trying to stay on there for the 4 years as well. I've been on Navy ships. As a soldier, it's fantastic because we've got no responsibility other than don't touch someone, don't punch someone, don't steal anything. That's it. But for you, you're going to be on there. As long as you get onto a warship, you're going to love it. I don't know how you could possibly enjoy a support ship. A support ship means it's all about labour, you know, tying up the boots for someone else who's going to play the game, and that sucks. So get yourself onto a warship if you can, and you should be good. You know, it's a different sort of lifestyle, mate. Aircraft tech roles, 1K music. It's what can I think about it? It's a technical role. You know, it's not a combat role. It's a support role. I don't have the brains, the patience. My ADD would drive me crazy doing that. I think it's a job you can do for the rest of your life. It has off-ramps that will give you qualifications for things within the civilian market as well. I think it's a great thing to do. But if you're a team-based person, sport-based person, and you want to be around the people that are similar to yourself, it comes down to what is the reason why you want to be tech? Did you say that's what you want to do, or did they tell you that's what you should do? You listen to your heart and say, when you join the army, is it for the calling of being a warrior, or is it because you want to go in there and be an aircraft tech? Only you can answer those questions, but don't lie to yourself, otherwise you'll regret your choices.
I think a lot of folk in the chat maybe don't know that you were once a reservist.
I was a reservist back in 1989.
Okay,
I was, and that's why I tell people don't join the army when you're 17. I joined the Army Reserve when I was 17.
Yeah.
As soon as I could. My father was in the army, and I went and joined that so I could still continue on and do year 11 and 12. But that was because Melanie was still at school. So was Alison Kadylov, and so was Fiona Panis. They were three girls I was infatuated, and I don't believe I got a kiss off any of them. So I said, that's it. I'm going to the French Foreign Legion, but I ended up joining the regular army instead. Went in for SIGs, joined infantry, never looked back, except again when I was on a Navy ship.
Oh my gosh. It took me a minute to get that. Mullet Man has said, if you had to choose your preferences as a reservist, what would it be, Kaz? Would your options change because of the difference in time spent in uniform?
I would always say, always go for a combat corps if you're going to Army Reserve, because chances are it is the exact opposite of what you're doing, in a civilian aspect. So when you go over there, you're going to have maximum fun. Don't worry about getting promoted. Do not try to get promoted in Army Reserve. Stay there, get the tax dollars, lack of responsibility, all the toys, and just be there for mateship. That's what I'd say. Armoured Corps, infantry. If you want to get some tickets, then go to engineers, and that might be able to assist you in the civvy street as well. But don't do the same thing as you're doing in civilian life. Don't do that. Pick something that gives you a little bit of the grass is greener over there, and see how you go, and surround yourself in the type of people that are like that. That's what I'd say.
Yep, that sounds good. That sounds like good advice. So when people are picking their priorities for life, right?
Yeah.
And it is a choice, isn't it? You get to sit there and dream up your life. You have a lot more control over where your life goes than what some folk think.
Absolutely.
I suppose, and they'll be really, really different for everyone. And when for me, I set goals, and when I meet those goals, I make new goals.
I live by the seat of my pants.
Yep.
That even
Much
then,
more than
sometimes I lose.
Yep.
I've lost my pants a bunch of times. But I'm a decisive individual, and my life is about the chip packet in the wind. Living for the moment, understanding whatever I plan is probably going to go to the shit. But then again, like I say, I believe I've got undiagnosed ADD.
Yeah, pretty sure you do too.
Yeah, and that's what my life is like. It's just chaos in my brain, even when I'm standing at a funeral, pretending to be upset, be sad. I'm wondering, is this the month that Wet and Wild opens?
Oh my gosh.
Well, everyone dies. Everybody dies.
It's true. It's true. And that's exactly why you have to live now, especially when you get to our end of the street of life.
Hey, first two names was just saying, hey, Kaz, do the Navy have combat competitive roles? Of course they do. Yep, they do. But they're also combat ships. You've got your guys on there, and they'll do boarding parties, etc. None of them are going to be dedicated to combat with your rifles, your weapons. They're going to be qualified in that. Your Navy clearance divers is probably the closest thing to that. But their weapon is their ship. That is their so you're going to be in the same position as you could be on any ship, but you're on a combat ship, which means you're going to be the one that closes with an enemy target that might be 2,000 kilometres away. So it's a difficult one to explain, mate.
Indeed, it is. Okay. In the chat, we've got, I think Para in the Philippines is answering someone else's question. So is Navy veteran. Glad you're here, Navy veteran, because there's a lot of Navy questions tonight.
And Navy'd be my second choice. If I wasn't Army,
Yeah.
it'd be Navy.
Yeah,
Yep.
I agree.
The
Navy's
ocean has a
good.
calling. I love it. I'm about to
Yep.
travel around Australia in a camper van just so I can get closer to the water, despite the fact I live in the Bronx at the moment at Western Sydney. Great kebabs, but that's not what my life is supposed to be about.
No, that's not your priority.
I want to move somewhere that's got the best unique kebabs.
But that might be someone's dream, and good on them
Yep.
for that.
Yep. Well, this is a great question because we're seeing it's the least amount of people that have turned up to a stream before, and it's all about a sea change. So this question here,
exactly.
there must be a new channel, I believe. Will you come? Will you guys come with me?
I
Will you
will.
be part of both? You don't need
Sure.
to. You can stay in one. You can get rid of all. But there's going to be something awesome about launching that and people trying to get in at the start and go, I want to be the top one, the top two, the top five subscribers onto this channel. You know, and what we might be doing, you know, there might be some moderators that are able to come over and be moderators despite the fact that it's not going to be what we would call a stream-orientated channel. It's going to be a numbered #1, #2 episode, blah, blah, blah. But I'd love input from you guys because this is supposed to be a stepping stone that I'm assisting you with what your career is to do with the military. Chances are that you're going to have the same adventurous lifestyle that I'm now in front of you, still like a breaking wave, that then you can say, well, I can follow that lead. You know, this doesn't need to be a roadblock. I don't need to stop training because I'm about to turn 30 or whatever. You know, when you see other people that are sharing a life, you go, that's how I want my life to be when I'm older. The thing, Lauren, that really scared me was it would have been very easy to think. It would have been very easy to think at 50, okay, now's the time to settle right down or save your money, save your nuts, so to speak.
Yep.
But what would have happened if I hadn't have bought the van when I did, taking into account it took 1 year and 4 months to get the van, then 50 to 60 might have gone like that Zyrtec. And before I know it, my bones are now too sore. Sedentary took over me for between 50 and 60. You're undateable now, you know, and all of a sudden, you're never going to get that van. You're never going to have the energy to do that lifestyle. So I chose to do that now.
Exactly. And let me tell you, folks, 50 creeps up on you, and then it's just here before you know it.
Absolutely. Destined, yep. The focus of my second channel is going to be about living life. It's not necessarily just Australia. You know, it's going to be about talking to other people. I want you guys to be able to come up with the top 10 playing card questions that you'd ask a stranger, or you would like to hear the answer from that stranger. So what you can end up with is compilations of 10 different people going bam, 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 the way they answered question number 7. And when someone says another question that would be great is this, if it's better than one of the other 10 questions, one gets kiboshed, the other one gets put in, and that becomes a new question. So it's about the voice of the people. It's about what is the pulse of Australia at the moment. It's going to be about cool sort of videography. What's under the water under that boat? Well, I'd better check it out. Okay, take up the microphone, and there we go. There's going to be some titanium cup moments. Mr. P loves a titanium cup.
He does.
Basically, it's what you do on weekends, I'll be doing on Wednesdays.
Yes, exactly.
JB.
That's being time rich.
Got to take a chance in life, says Stevie. And I can tell you now, that time goes very, very quick. And do you know when you make the worst mistakes? The worst mistakes you make that will take away any chance of a great life normally happen, okay, in your 20s and your early 30s.
Yeah, exactly. You can really mess stuff up for yourself. You can do things that have permanent consequences.
Yep. Yeah, I asked a question, and we'll say Emma because no one knows the surname. Before Emma went to do her officer selection board, you know, I told her the questions they're going to ask her. And I was quite surprised that Emma didn't really know how to answer it when I said, well, who do you look up to? Who inspires you? Didn't have anyone.
That's interesting.
So who inspires you guys? You know, who gives you the fact that you're here at the moment means that we're kindred spirits on the same journey. But is there someone in the world that you look at and said, that is the person that puts the wind beneath my wings? That is the person that tells me I'm not a freak. I'm not the only one that thinks this way. Other people think this way too. You know, because that's important. Who inspires you? Because if you tell me who inspires you, I already know who you are by who inspires you.
Exactly.
If you say Hillary Clinton,
Yeah,
don't come to the next channel unless you're ready to change, because that'd mean you're too far gone.
Yeah. Simon was just asking, will you be doing a lap of Australia? And I believe you don't have your route planned yet, do you? Because you can't really go off on big, long trips yet while your daughter's so young. Is that correct?
She tells me how long I'm allowed to go away for. What there's a lot of areas in Australia, and I've been around most of Australia, everywhere from Adelaide around to Darwin. There's a lot of areas in Australia which are dead zones. Noosa to Townsville is a dead zone. There's almost nothing worth visiting. You know, sorry if what's his name? Robin is there. I am Deadpool. He's about to move up. He's about to move up near Rocky. Guys and gals, that's 1,500 k's nearly, where not only is it hella expensive to get around there, there's nothing to see. You can't swim, you know, after Noosa, I should say. And yeah, I'd rather fly up and go on dive charters. I don't need to go across the top. I've been there. I trained there. You know, I've done military exercises all through the top end, all of my career. Western Australia, I don't know a single thing about it, but I can spell it. You know, Tasmania, definitely need to go there.
You have to.
Yeah, the eastern, the southeast of Australia, fantastic. It's just perfect beach after perfect beach. Yeah. And the temperature is fantastic, and the coffee is great.
Indeed.
Navy veteran, the Queen, our boss. But
Destin says that the only people that have ever inspired him have been fictional.
Who was saying this?
Destined, which is interesting to me because I think I get inspired by so many different people and stories, and a lot of them from history, but people now who I know amongst my acquaintance inspire me.
Yep.
That I think either you're, you know, maybe got tickets on yourself or something, or you're expecting people to be perfect when they're not. You know, I think you need to maybe start looking for inspiration from actual people. Well,
Will Smith was perfect until 10 days ago.
Yeah, exactly. No one is.
Johnny's dig says come back to high range. Imagine that.
You'd love that. You'd love to go to Tully again, wouldn't you?
I do need to go to Tully.
Yep.
I need to go to Tully, and there is a video coming out that goes for 16 minutes tomorrow. It's a double banger episode on Tully, where almost everyone's been insulted.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Emu Park, Webby. Okay, so that's where Robin's going. Emu Park. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I live in the dead zone, says a lurker. Beautiful. Yeah, look, there is beautiful places around, but guess what? One of the things Australia's done is built some amazing roads that make you detour every single thing that's interesting.
Yeah, exactly. You do have to stop and linger, you know, a little bit.
I don't have a problem with addiction, so I reckon Foster would be a great place to put down stumps for a while. Port Macquarie's getting a little bit too crazy. Lennox Head and Byron Bay is an urban myth that's a laid-back area. You know, you need to basically be rich to even go there. It can be nearly $350 a night just to stay there, but not for Kaz because I'll be off that grid.
Yeah. It's all right, Simon. I've actually already spoken to Kaz an awful lot about him going over to WA one day. I grew up in WA as well. So, yeah.
I definitely want to go there.
That's a big trip, though. That's something that's going to have to be its whole own trip.
Yep. And remember, I've had some pretty big girlfriends in my life. My back on a 4,000 kilometre trip.
Yeah.
It won't be easy.
No, exactly. But your van is comfortable.
It is comfortable. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
What do we
It
got
is
next? So the
indeed.
question is, thumbs up. Don't lie to me. It's fine. You can say down, thumbs down if you want. Are you going to come to the other channel? You're going to be part of both. You're going to come and check it out. You're going to come and have the laughs. Are you going to be the guys putting comments in videos that take up 10 to 15 minutes of your time that you can look over and go, you know what? Young Bloods might have a fantastic channel, but Kaz, there is a randomness to that channel that's going to keep me coming back for more.
I've never even heard of the Youngbloods, but so I'll
fantastic channel.
I'll definitely be at your channel.
It's in Western Australia. He's been given over $1 million worth of stuff, you know.
Okay,
but I don't think he's ever answered a comment.
Would you be talking much about like the equipment you're using and camping equipment and all that?
No. Look, I didn't deck out my convert my van itself. I bought it brand new, top of the line, you know, so that I can spend time on not is this going to break down? Does it have warranty? Okay, or how do I do this? How do I do that? Mine's all about seeing and talking to people, jumping into water, cold water, fetching stones, you know, maybe some apparel. It'd be like a little shirt shop out the back.
Yeah, I just thought we should clarify that in case people are expecting to see that, and it is going to be very different.
Yep, and I don't want to compete with Mr. Buckaroony. He's already doing a great job.
He's got it covered. Yep. That I'm
Johnny Diggs, 2R represent. G'day, mate. How you going? Second to none. Who's our mascot? 1RR.
More men in black.
Para in the Philippines. Just so you know, mate, we've got a lot of veterans that watch this channel that don't actually comment as well, mate. So to you and your brothers that are there, you know, probably pretending to like an olive still, you know, while you drink your port and toast the Queen, you know, no problem with her. She was my boss for 24 years and my dad's for 28 years before that. Mate, you're more than welcome. If you decide to come over here, I'll roll the dice and let you know I'll put yous up, all 8 years, for 12 hours anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Para.
So, what's next? Any more questions?
Yeah, there is. But what's this last one from Para? One of his oppos did 22 years in Paris and just wanted to make pies. Fantastic. I reckon America would love the meat pie because the meat pie, not only is it good for the homeless, but it can become a weapon in the ghetto. The thing I always want to ask the African Americans, do they understand when they say they're from the hood? We fucking all are. It means neighborhood. It's just been cut down. Hood. We're all from the neighborhood. You know, the one thing that I wish I could do with my African American friends, you know, but they're already cops so they get the memo, is if you wanted to take away almost all of the problems of suburbia in America, is just cooperate with the police. That's all you have to do. Cooperate with the police. Almost all your problems would be gone. So I opened his shop in... My eyes are glued on, my friend. Bad Angus. And now ships pies to Manila and all over the Philippines. He followed his dream. But what does he put in those pies? I hope it's not like Tanzania or something like that puts the arm skin of an albino in there. Is there things that crunch that make you wonder what the hell was that? Just to save some cash? I don't know. Landy Smurf. It is great, nice size. I remember Harrington being good for flatheads. Oh, okay. If you're any camels on your way, please post a photograph before kissing it. James Mitchos. I've got a lot of photography on camels, funny enough, despite the fact that I didn't really see any other than the ones I rode while I was stationed in Egypt. But down on the Simpson, we went down there and there was a in the middle of the Simpson, there was... no, it wasn't a Simpson. That was at Ayers Rock. Okay, there was the park there where you go to get to ride camels. I didn't see any when I was on, and they're supposed to be everywhere on the Simpson Desert. When we crossed that, didn't see one. Saw a couple of dingoes that looked like they hadn't had a feed in a month. But if I ever see one, mate, I'll get a photo of the those animals that need to see a dentist, for sure. Next question. Bam. What will be the ingredients of the new channel? Okay, we sort of discussed it. It's going to be all about people. It's going to be all about experiences. It's going to be random. It's going to be we need to find some sort of rhythm for length of video. One of the reasons why I want this channel as well, in case you don't know, is for people like Paras, etc., in the Philippines, and my buddies, and people like Robin, who calls himself, what do we call it, Stolen Valor, I Am Deadpool, is none of my mates can watch the videos because they served as well. They don't want to hear this shit. They've had enough of the army conversation.
Yeah.
They want to see me get out there and have a good time, and do some of the worst come-on lines you've ever heard to women. Watch me get laughed at and mocked.
I'm sure it's not that bad. You're pretty smooth. You're pretty smooth when you want to be.
That's what they said when I was in jail.
Ace is here. Hi, Ace.
Hey, Ace, how you going, mate?
Yeah. Good night, Simon.
Good night, Simon. See you, buddy. What are you doing going to bed?
He might be tucking
He's sneaking off to watch rugby union.
He probably is.
Disgusting. Okay, so what will be the ingredients? Complete randomness, but they will be numbered videos, so you can actually watch them in chronological order. By now, I've had enough of an apprenticeship in YouTube that I sort of know what goes into a video, how long to make it, how to edit them, but you do not ever get time to edit as an army of one a stream properly, because it's continually getting taken off track, answering subjects, but it gives clarity, to your and context to the question that you ask that you deserve an answer to.
Yeah, indeed.
Or Paris in Filipinas. That's a serious question amongst us. We took the Queen's shilling, so technically our service is terminated on her death. Oh, Paris, what are you saying? You've crushed me. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Is my time done because I haven't served the king? It was with the Queen. And I'm glad that you meet me there. See, I can't take it when someone bags out the Queen, because I'm saying, you show me someone who has worked full-time longer than the Queen with no scandal.
Yeah. Exactly. She is as much your boss as she is the Governor General's. It's no different. That's exactly right.
Ace with a realistic on shit tube.
I appreciate that, Ace.
Destined, I don't have internet access in my van. I don't even know how to do that sort of shit, man. Other than what's on my phone just by being part of Telstra, which has worked out for us. But I don't feel any allegiance to Her Royal Highness Charles, but I do to United Kingdom. Yep, I understand that. The only difference now is I choose my way. They don't dictate.
Wars.
No truer word said, because that means what you say now, I can rely on as truth and wisdom and the Philippines way.
Yeah. I'm interested in how old you are, Para, because I just had a look at your channel. He's new to YouTube.
Oh, fantastic.
Will you be uploading other videos? That'd be interesting.
Yep. And if so, can we also get, I reckon there's going to be a stellar channel, by the way, team. Can we do like a group hoarding over there, and let's hold his feet to the fire, subscribe to his channel, and he'd better deliver. How does that sound? Get your mates on there. I want to see them eating oysters and doing cinnamon challenges, because that seems to be the thing that Brits love to do while eating whole pizzas by themselves. Bam. When you look back on life, you need to make sure you lived. It is so easy to go, I'm providing for the family. I'm working this job 9 to 5. But what's going to happen when you only have this life once, and you understand that someone in the Amazon in some ways has a better job than better life than you? You're not meant to be a beast of burden. There has to be advantages of those that have fallen before us, that have paved the way for the happiness of the youth, so that we don't make ourselves a victim. We fire an arrow which is flaming into the night to illuminate our path, and then we follow it despite the fact that the path has American wealth in London. That was, don't walk off the moors. Sometimes you've got to step into the mud and get a bit dirty to understand exactly who you are. Don't agree with people for the sake of agreeing with them, because what they'll do is they'll put metaphorical invisible shackles on your arms, on your wrists, on your feet, and you'll realize the ball that you're dragging is someone you despise, yet they control you like a puppet.
Exactly. Pull your own strings.
Yeah. I'm a bit scared of these Filipino pies.
No, they're made by a Britishman. Remember, it's his friend who's making the pies, so they'll be a good British pie.
I don't think British
in
know
the
how to eat a pie.
What?
I don't know if they know how to eat a pie properly.
I'm sure they can be
You've
taught.
got to rip that lid off, and then you've got that black piece of skin that goes across the top of the pie, and that is the nicest bit.
I don't even really like pies.
Hey, Paris, I love pies. I just sometimes question what's in them.
Look, I'm adverse to gristle of any kind. I can't handle gristle, and I get one little bit of gristle, that's me done.
Bit of elbow skin in there.
Yeah. Yep.
We had samosas in Rwanda.
I love samosas.
They're good. Not when you find part of a goat's eye in one butt. And that's what happened to one of our buddies. We were all eating them, these triangle samosas, paying top dollar for them, and we heard this and spitting and shit. You got to remember, 50 metres away, there's dead bodies in the street. So for someone to be going, what the hell is this? And then you see this goat's eye, you know. I can still remember it. I don't know how Rwanda is a poor country, because that was 1995, which is 27 years ago when I was there. And they were charging us $1, a US dollar for a can of Coke, $8 US for 20 minutes on the phone. And then we found out the officers were using the sat phone for free. Sons of bitches.
Naughty. That shouldn't be allowed.
That's stealing off the soldiers, I believe.
Yeah.
But the other one was, we were paying $8 as well for a margarita pizza with no cheese or tomato sauce on. So work that one out. You know, it was basically a piece of pita bread, you know, with some shit on it.
And that was way back. Like, you know, that wasn't...
That was 27 years ago. But do you know why we were buying them?
Why?
We were forced to buy them because the Australian Army cooks and chefs was so bad. It was so bad that we would rather eat food that we trusted off the people that had just been hacking each other to pieces, you know, 10 times what the food was worth, just so we wouldn't have to eat Australian food. The food they were giving us. It was disgusting. Purple meat, no one knew what the hell it was. The chefs, the cooks were crying. They were Army Reserve, and they were crying because we were going, that is fucking shit. What you're serving there, I would not give to an orphan that hasn't found an orphanage. That is horrible, you know. And so we refused to eat their food. We'd even ask, can people send us food from Australia so we don't have to eat the food our cooks are cooking? It was terrible.
Yeah, indeed.
The crows wouldn't eat it.
No, really.
Yep.
Brady's saying you need a jet ski on a trailer behind the van.
Maybe. That's already on the cards, Brady.
I want you to get that underwater scooter.
The underwater scooter? You didn't know about that?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. All we need is QPM. QPM and BRK, you've got to start doing their job. Yeah, if you want Kaz to have the toys, we need the stock market. And the only reason the stock market is down is because the US has put us in this situation financially by pretending that they actually think there is leaders at the helm at the moment. It is the worst thing I've ever seen a couple of days ago when Mr. Biden, and I actually feel sorry for him at the moment. I think it's time that someone came and took his roller skates off and said, come on, mate, come on. You know, let's go over here, Bernie, and go and have something to eat, get some shade, and spend a little bit of time with your family before you go to jail. Because he came out a couple of days ago and he goes, you could sum up America in one word. 17,000 miles, Xi Jinping. And I went, what the hell was that? And then Kamala Harris came on. She's going, hello, America. Hello, America. She said it 3 times, and that's all I heard her say. I'm going, is this the leaders of the free world at the moment that are driving them into a trench and making the stock market so like this? You know, for those that don't know, before 2020, the stock market was like that. It was fantastic to be in Australia in the stock market. And now I feel like I'm in the rapids of Tully. Underwater
Yeah.
scooters, be careful because they're really slow. The one I'm looking at, James. The one I'm looking at is the what's it called? It goes just over 17 kilometres an hour. Yeah, that's as fast as a slow person runs.
Indeed.
Kaz, question: when the cooks run out of stuff to cook, do they turn into hunter-gatherers? No, they don't. No, they don't. It wasn't always the fact that they were bad cooks. It's just they weren't inventive. I don't think they were trying, and the food they were given was subpar. That's all. Yeah. Yeah. That's our philosophy. Talking Paris here. What's done is done. We are about creating new memories. Fantastic. I love it. I'm going to be living it. We have lads coming from the UK regularly. We allow one night of the good old days, and then you get on at life. I like that, man. I do.
It's good
I like
philosophy.
that. What's
Sorry, I'm just typing something. I'm
Life
sending
kids.
Vicky some love.
civic career, house, travelled Australia and overseas. Yep. Fulfillment. That's what it comes down to there, man. We get to a stage in our life where all of a sudden we go, do I have time to do what I need to do, what I want to do, what I've always wanted to do? Is it ever a time for me to come first? And the stars have aligned, and here I am with the van outside. And
you made that happen. I remember a lot of people here will remember from the very first channel that you had. They will remember you dreaming about a van, and now here it is.
I used to dream of England. I dream of London. Yeah. Guess what?
What? Uh-oh.
5-minute warning. Penultimate lap. Guys and gals, this was a different subject. We still sort of spoke about everything you wanted to speak about.
We did.
But it's going to be very exciting. And when a channel begins anytime, this is exactly what Para's talking about. When I got out of the army, I could have gone to the pub. I could have chased the girls that you don't want to put a ring on their finger unless it's a calamari ring. I could have been selfish. I could have not moved to where my daughter was. Okay, but now I'm here. I've changed my life. I'm looking forward. There's a rear vision mirror. I see what's in it. And I remember who has got me to where I am. But the time is to move forward. And this ship at the moment is how I feel at times. All alone in the ocean, thinking, could have I done things better? But that's not going to get me anywhere. What will get me somewhere, okay, is a van, is a vision, and the energy and some keys and some fuel. And a plan, maybe. But I don't plan. I'm the chip packet in the wind. We'll get the Argentinian barbecue ready for you both. Oh, yeah. Sounds good.
Vicky I've got to come with you if you're going to Townsville to visit with Vicky and you know who, our golden haired boy, then you better, I'm coming too.
Do you scuba dive, mate? I do, James. I'm an advanced diver. I gave my scuba gear away to one of my buddies. So I'm going to go and buy a new setup, and I'll probably be part of dive clubs because that is a fantastic way of getting to see people like-minded as well. And when you get your dive gear, I've got a special compartment in my van just for dive gear. It's going to be great, mate. It's going to be great unless I'm taken by some sort of animal or end up with some sort of colostomy bag that prevents me from having the fun I want to. Hey, Benny James, here you go, mate. Hey, okay, it's got knocked back at assessment day due to Dad having pancreas cancer, but thinking it was more of my age. Get told to come back in 12 months. Only thing to do is wait and train. Man, I'm sorry, because it sounded like a slam shut sort of contract you had there, man.
Yeah, that's a shame. Sorry about your dad.
Can we get some thumbs down in the chat for Ben?
Yeah.
As we learn that, life is also about curveballs as well.
Exactly.
And that's why the military, we're taught to have a second course of action, third course of action, in case the first one goes to shit after HL across the line of departure and realise the bad guy ain't there anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And your number can be up at any moment in life. So you have to live it.
You do. Vids is saying wasp taken by some sort of animal. If you want to call her that, don't shame her. There's some girl right now that's roaming out there that doesn't even know I exist.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she's there. She's just dreaming of you. You're like her checklist, just like she's yours.
I'll hold her hand like she's my captive.
Oh, no, come on, that's a little, you're going too far there.
I'll give her a drink of tap water and say, you owe me now.
Back up a little, cowboy. No. Calm down.
Yeah, mate, that news, Benny, it does suck. It really does. You know, this is support, but you know what we're saying. Everyone in this channel, knows what it's like to miss out on something. So many, either have lost their chance of a military career because they go too old, or because of something they inherited, from family, or a mistake they've made with substance abuse or violence. Maybe it's a bad friend that dragged them into a fight that they won, but that's ultimately lost them opportunities in the future. But guys and gals, you need to make your own opportunities. We've made this opportunity. We've put this video out here. You've been here for the first time. We've spoken to Paris in the Philippines, who's over there with his 8 oppos, plus the tour that he does with his buddies that come over. And maybe this is the very first time that you've seen us communicate that's going to blossom into something that's awesome, cool, and we have a good time. Navy veteran. But don't give up. It took me 4 years to get because of a heart condition. Found my assessment day, kept coming back till I got the go-ahead from the doctors. There you go. Don't give up on life, but also don't stick with something once you see the writing is on the wall.
Exactly.
And then keep chasing failure. Have that second.
Always have a plan B. Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, that's it, team. Yeah. We're going to roll out of here, Lauren. Do you have any... Lauren, I'm going to let you close out on this one.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't really have a lot going on in my future. Like, my priorities in the next few years will be opera, probably. We'll see. Not as exciting as the van, for sure. I hope you all have a really wonderful week, and we will see you on the next stream. Don't forget to join the Patreon if you would like a one-on-one conversation with Kaz, because it's a really great community over there, and he uses the money to help people. So when you least expect it. So if you want to do something good, go over to the Patreon. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video because it does help in the algorithm. And when you get word about the new channel, head on over there and it'll be great. It'll be totally different, but it'll be fantastic. So good night, everybody. Be good. See you next stream.
Be good, Johnny. Be good, be good. I hope I didn't make it too